Welcome back to Peril Pending, and today we're looking at the Snowflake Party. Yes, I am sure that some of you have seen a clip of Robert Genrich, perhaps. We're going to cover it in today's episode. Basically saying that it's really, really mean to call us names, but I'm allowed to call you names, and so are all my colleagues, because personally I believe what I'm saying, which implies he doesn't believe what others are saying. It's a difficult one to wrap your head around because, of course, it's logic that's coming from the illogical party. But today we're going to start with a clip from GBBs, and we're going to watch Lee Anderson talk about how, similar to Robert Genrich, it's okay when we do it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, perhaps we should all
Two rights
calm
don't make a
tensions
wrong.
down a bit.
Yeah, they should tone it down. And I know Matthew will probably pipe up about me using the word traitors and treacherous. I think they are. I think some of these MPs who've got in there are traitors. They're traitors to our country. They are treacherous. They're letting the country down. People are being attacked in the streets. We've got young girls being raped in our parks by illegal migrants. And all this is because of the inaction from this government and the previous government. So I think they are treacherous. I think they are traitors. But that's a little bit different from calling politicians like myself and Nigel and Richard, labelling us as Nazis, as far-right, as fascists.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit odd that he doesn't like being called a far-right Nazi fascist, and then the example of why it's okay to call the Labour government and the previous government, his colleagues, and some of the people he now currently still works with traitors, is because illegal migrants are raping. I mean, there are also UK citizens that are raping as well. That's a bit of a weird example to give when you're trying to deflect from the fact that you're definitely not a fascist, a Nazi, or a racist. But apparently it's absolutely fine to call people traitors. Again, total hypocrisy. Some might even call it two-tier outrage. I don't know which party has been popularizing that phrase, but I mean, it's right there. And let's have a look at that clip I mentioned earlier from Robert Genrich saying pretty much the same thing, and then I got a few points to make.
You can use strong language that captures the feelings of the public. I think that's actually very important. You have to meet the public where they are on many of the issues that are facing the country at the moment. But you shouldn't be going around saying lies about people, and you certainly shouldn't be comparing them to Nazis, fascists.
It's tricky, isn't it?
That language is incendiary, and I think does put people at risk.
Do you accept, if that's the case, that you have a role and that Reform UK have a role in the language that they use?
Of course, and there may be occasions where we have not got things right as well.
You routinely call members of the Labour Party traitors.
Well,
you called the Attorney General a traitor.
Yeah, I think that is a word which is a strong word, not one that should be bandied around casually. But I do stand behind that. I think that if you sell out the interests of your country, as I believe Lord Hermer has done both in his career before going into politics and then in politics, for example, with the Chagos deal, I do think that the term traitor, although a strong word, is the right word to describe.
You hate your country. You have a different view about the country. But there will be people listening to this programme who think that Nigel Farage's behaviour in the past, and indeed some of the policies that are pursued, are certainly racist. That is the view they think. So why are they not allowed to say that, but you are allowed to call someone a traitor?
Well, I would defend, as I just have, why I described Lord Hermer in those terms, and I would defend Nigel in the fact that I can't think of instances where, in his recent political career, he said something which I think could fairly be described as racist.
Yeah, there you go. So because Robert Genrich, because he can't think of something recently that Farage has said, oh, well, you guys can't call us racists. You guys can't call us fascists. You guys can't call us Nazis. We can call you traitors, though, because in our hearts, we believe that you are traitors. Genrich, Anderson, the rest of the idiots in Reform UK, people are calling you racist, far right, Nazi, because they believe in their heart of hearts you are those things. And personally, at least for Nigel Farage, he definitely is a racist. There is tons of evidence. I already did a video on this because there was so much evidence, but it's just funny that these absolute snowflakes are melting down when somebody dare call them far right. You are far right. Where do you think you lie on the political spectrum? I mean, it's definitely warped for them because they consider Labour to be far left. That's absolutely wild. They're quite clearly maybe centre left, but that's the problem with these idiots. And even if we look at it from just like a purely fact-based observation, historically, the punishment for treason was a hanging. Now, the punishment is prison time. I mean, Reform should know this. Nathan Gill is guilty of treason, isn't he? And he's in prison, so they should really know about that. There is no punishment for holding Nazi ideology or far-right ideology. You're totally free to do that. If you then act on that in a terroristic sense, then of course you'll get done because then you're a terrorist. But you can hold those beliefs and you will not face any law repercussions. But you will for being a traitor. Sorry. So realistically, which label is worse there? But just to follow on with the fact that these little snowflakes are the biggest party of hate that we've had, well, here's a familiar face. Lucy Connelly, remember? The person that Reform had zero interest in until she did time for inciting hatred. Well, let's see how she'll defend herself, because Reform had her at their latest CPAC event, and I'm pretty sure they had her on stage at their conference as well. So they're fully behind Lucy Connelly. Let's see if she was inciting violence.
Many people will say that we do have freedom of speech in this country, but what we don't have is a right to incite violence. They will look at what you said in that tweet and they will...
Yeah, let's just have a quick little look here. Mass deportation now. Set fire to all the effing hotels full of the... well, I can't say that because YouTube won't let me. For all I care, while you're at it, take the treacherous government and politicians with them. I feel physically sick knowing that what these families will now have to endure. If that makes me racist, so be it. Yeah, so what's that? You're calling for people to be set fire. And you're also calling for the government to be set on fire. Yeah, that seems pretty bad. That seems just a little bit more bad than being called far right, considering you are a far right party. Just look at your policy. But let's see how Reform's favourite spokesperson, other than Zia Yusuf, let's see how she'll defend this.
We'll say that very clearly crosses the line.
I'd say to them, show me the incitement. It was very hyperbole. It said, for all I care. At no point did I say to people, go out and do this. Equally, there is absolutely no evidence to suggest anybody acted on that. It wasn't up for very long.
It is very clear, set fire to all the effing hotels. What is that if not an incitement to violence?
For all I care. It's like saying, go and I don't care if that happens. You know, like it was a flippant comment, isn't it? A horrible one, but it was like there is no call to direct action. For incitement to be met, there must be a call to direct action. There is no call to direct action in that tweet.
Many people...
Yeah, set fire to them. No call for direct action. I just said set fire to them. Yeah. The problem here is that there's not even an ounce of acknowledgement. You did the time. You pleaded guilty. But according to Reform UK, that's absolutely fine. There is no problem with that whatsoever. But if you call a member of Reform UK far right because they have far right policies, or you call them racist because in your heart you believe they're racist, which according to Genrich and Anderson is a perfectly reasonable thing. Well, no. You are actually now a really bad person and you should go to prison, but Lucy Connelly shouldn't have. And then, of course, because honestly, This is reform's, I don't know what you would call it, wild card. Yeah, remember when there was that video going around of Rachel Reeves and she got heckled. She was just doing an interview and she got heckled by a member of the public. And then Zia Yusuf said, "Could this legendary gentleman please get in touch? A future reform government would love to give him a peerage for his outstanding public service." What's that from the self-proclaimed party of protecting women and girls? This is Zia Yusuf here, saying that reform would give somebody who was heckling a female politician a peerage. But once again, it's absolutely fine when they do it. It's terrible when anybody else does it. And this is the pattern of reform. They take all this dodgy money. Nobody's forgotten about that 5 million bung. Oh, well, it's fine. It's absolutely fine because we've said it's okay. Rachel Reeves has an issue with her taxes. Well, more than an issue. That's criminal. She should lose her job and she should lose her position and she should never be anywhere near government. What was it, 30-something K? 5 million's absolutely fine. Every single time that Reform UK or a member of Reform UK do something that breaks the rules, they show behaviour like this right here from Zia Yusuf, they will defend it. They will say it's absolutely fine. But when the glove is on the other foot, as they say, it's the worst thing in the world. These people need to be sent to court. They shouldn't be allowed anywhere near government. All Reform do is whinge and moan and cry. They are not a serious party and they are not out to help anybody but themselves. But those are just my thoughts. Please leave yours in the comment section down below and I'll catch you next time while the peril's still pending.